Hello, today we're going to be making this adorable little carrot. We're using Premier Gumdrop yarn. This is just one color from it because it comes in like 3 colors. And then this is Premier Basics Solid. So we are going to be using a size 5.5 crochet hook. This, you don't have to have a yarn needle, but it does make it easier, and then some fluff. You actually don't need very much fluff for this. So to get started, we're going to create a slip knot to start your yarn. Pull it tight. This yarn, I love it, but for beginners it might be a little hard because it does tend to pill easily, or shed easily, I guess is the right word. So we're going to chain 2, and then in this first chain we made, we're going to put 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're just going to work in continuous rounds. So we're going to put 1 single crochet in each of those 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to do an increase in this first stitch, so that's going to be 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, and then we are going to go around 1 in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going back into that one that we did the increase. We're going to do 2 single crochets past it and another increase, and then we're going to go all the way around to the increase space again. If you're having a hard time seeing your increase space, you can put in a stitch marker. I don't feel like I need to do that with this yarn and this lighting, but if you feel like you want to, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going into that increase, and then I'm going to do 2 stitches and do another increase, go around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then just pull out this yarn. I think I wound it too tight. We're going to go 2, 1, 2, increase, and then go around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I'm going to go around another round of 9 without any increases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pull out more yarn apparently. And then do 2 single crochets, increase, and then go around. So I did 10 around to that increase, and I'm going to go 2 spaces and do another increase, and then it will be 11 back to the middle of that increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I think I want this to be about maybe 2 more rows or rounds high. But you can just keep going with this pattern as long as you want it. Just every once in a while, so that it doesn't get too wide too fast. Just do a round without any increase. So I'm going to go 2 spaces and then increase. And 11, 12. Now I'm going to go 12 again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now we're going to do, first I'm going to pull that out a little bit and stuff it loosely or tightly. I guess it just depends on what you want it to feel like. I like it to be kind of firm, but a little bit squishy still. Oh. A little bit more. I'll tighten that back up, and we're going to do an invisible decrease. You can do a regular decrease if you want, but I like how the invisible decrease looks. So you're going to just go into the front loop and put it onto the hook. The next stitch, you're going to go into the front loop and put it onto the hook, and then you're going to pull through both of those front loops and then do a regular single crochet on top like that. So then you're going to go just the front loop of the next stitch, front loop of the next stitch, pull through those first 2 and go through those. That's the invisible decrease. So we're going to do 6 of those since I ended at 12. If you make yours longer, then you might have to do 2 rounds of decreases to make it 6. So then to tie off, I just do a slip stitch into it and then a chain to pull it tight, and then we don't need to like sew very many things on, so I don't need to leave that very long because we're not going to use the orange to sew. We're just going to use it to close it. And I would like to, after I make that little hole, put a little bit more in here to kind of shape it more. Yeah, that feels right. And we're just gonna thread the needle and go in to just the top loop of each of these and around. You're gonna pull it around like that on top, and I kind of pull it tight as I go with this, especially with this yarn, because it kind of does it's hard, it will break if you pull it too tight at the end. And then you just weave in, going in a couple different directions. I didn't quite leave this long enough for what I usually go back and forth several times. That's okay. And then you just take your hook and get it, and I kind of just twist it into the stuffing in there. So it's nice and secure. Okay, so now we're going to grab our green. And I am going to leave a bit of a tail to sew on the top. And just make your little knot for that. And then you're going to chain 10. You can do it longer if you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you want to have longer, I guess, leaves or whatever these are on the top of the carrot, you can definitely do it longer than 10. And now we're going to do a tight slip stitch into each of these chains. So you're just going to insert into the top of the chain, and I want it to curl a little bit, so I'm going to pull this tight. Oops. Not tight enough that it rips, of course, but just tight enough that it's going to kind of pull it to a curl. So you just go into this top of the stitch. You go into the top of the stitch, grab yarn over, and then just pull it through like that. And there should be 9. And then I'm just going to take that last chain, or that where I went through, and I'm going to chain 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Just go in and make a tight slip stitch all the way down. And then I'm just going to do another chain 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And slip stitch all the way down. Eight, 9. Now I decided that I only want 3 on this one, so I'm just going to do a slip stitch back into this very first chain that we did, and then I'm going to do a chain 1 to tie it off. And I'm going to leave a little bit of end. I like to give myself plenty of end to sew it in. That's rolling away. Okay. Just kind of decide where you want it, and then sew it on. Now, I have in the past made the tops with some thinner yarn, and then made like curlies. Maybe I'll do a video with that too. We'll see. So I'm just going to pull this out down here. And then I'm going to put the needle onto this end and go ahead and do a few stitches with this. I want this to be super sturdy because I've noticed, at least if you're going to be like selling it or giving it to somebody with little kids, that they like to hold it by the tops of the carrots and swing it around. So I want it to be very sturdy. And now I'm going to bring this needle to the exact same spot I brought the other one and tie it into a knot. And I'm going to knot on top of that again. And then hide it into the thing. I'm going to go to a couple different spots because I want it to be ingrained into the fluff inside as much as possible. And there we have it. Here's our little carrot. I hope to see you next time.